guys. So I'm gonna go and talk to you guys about something that Sunday reminded me about, and just something that I've learned over time period. And those that don't know me, when I was a kid, I was one of those that my parent wanted me to be super religious, and me, I'm not so much. And she wanted me to be Catholic. And I used to go to Catholic school when I was like super young. And I think, it was the first school that I went to. And I was in the US. And I went to church every single Sunday. And the church that I went to, oh my goodness, was so boring. And I used to go to Bible school. And then I think it was like on Sundays, and also I think it was on a different day on like during the week time. And I dreaded it because it was so boring and it was just so not me. And every time I went, I always wanted to do something else, like sleep in or read a book or do something else that I would prefer. And I just remember when I would go, the person that was talking, so what they would do is they would go and talk about some kind of like life lesson, I think. I'm not really sure exactly what they were saying, but I think it was on those lines that they were doing. And so they went and talked a whole bunch. Like, it felt like 3 hours, but it was not 3 hours. I think it was like an hour and a half, but my goodness, it felt like 3 or 4 hours to me. And I just remember I would almost fall asleep all the time. And I don't remember if I did fall asleep, but I think there were several times where I almost did. And then I remember I had to like kneel down. And sometimes I don't even know what it's called, but the pew thing, or like it's the thing where you kneel, it wouldn't work, so you would have to kneel on it was like concrete floor, but it was not exactly concrete. It was like kind of like it was very cold. And I just remember that the entire time I was just so bored out of my mind. And the person that was speaking had this super, super thick accent, and so the entire time you couldn't understand a word that was coming out of this person's mouth. And they're a great person and all that, but it was just that it was so frustrating to not understand what is coming out of their mouth, and you're supposed to listen the entire hour and a half. Anyway, so I would get out of church, and I think the thing that excited me the most out of this is they would give out free donuts, and I was like, oh yay, free donut, when I was a kid. And that was the only thing that I really enjoyed. And so then we left, and I would complain to my mom about how I didn't want to go, or I want to sleep. Why can't I just sleep in the like bench area, which is kind of rude. And so she told me that life isn't about having fun. And I want to go and talk to you about this. So I would listen to her on her view about this, that life is supposed to be about boringness, and you're supposed to do the things that you don't want to do. And I want to discuss over this because since I was taught that at such a young age, that life is about doing what you don't want to do, and things that you're supposed to be doing, and things that you like that bore you. And I went through life doing those kind of things because that's what I was taught, and I absolutely hated it, because I would rather go and read a book that I could understand, or sleep in, so that way I can go and be able to think, because we would have to wake up so early for going there. and I wasn't even getting anything out of it because I couldn't even understand what was coming out of the person's mouth. And I think that, you know, when you are taught at such a young age, like that kind of thought process towards life, it is so mundane, it's so sad, and life is just feels like it's so long, and you're just wondering, when will this end, when will this end? And honestly, like, when you get older, you start realizing, no, life is not about just doing the things that you don't want to do and doing things that bore you to death and you cannot stand. Life is about, you know, exploring and having fun and doing the things that you want to do that is within reason, like within the law, and you know, not harming others. And I think that we seem to forget about this, and especially when you get older, you feel that you're supposed to do this and this and this, like whatever is dictated to you when you were younger, or just in general of what society says. And you know, like, I'm so happy that I got to go and do what I wanted to do Sunday by, you know, doing video here. Or, you know, I didn't sleep in because I wanted to wake up early and get household chores done. And to me, that is productive. And to go and spend time with my dog, like, there's no harm in that. And I think that, you know, it is so much happier life if that's how you want to spend your Sunday, to go and do that, then do that. And you shouldn't feel guilty for wanting to just enjoy life. And, you know, throughout my life, you know, I have been told certain things, and you know, wanting to make me feel guilty for doing what I want to do that is, you know, within reason. And I just think that a lot of people maybe are taught this too, about life is about boringness and doing things that you don't want to do. And, you know, life is about doing, you know, just doing things. And honestly, like, what kind of life is that? Like, is that what you want to think about on your deathbed? About, oh, you know, I all I did was all this boring stuff, things I didn't even want to do, and things that I can't even stand. And like, what kind of life is that? Like, ask yourself that. Is that what you want? And if they have that thought process towards life is about boringness and, you know, not exploring and not being open-minded and wanting to spend your time differently on a Sunday morning, okay, let them do what they want to do. And yeah, that's just, I just thought about Sundays, and just like that, what I was taught at a young age, that, you know, to have this mentality towards Sundays where, you know, you have to do this, you have to do that, and you know, you have to go do things you just don't want to do. And for me, that is not how I want to spend my Sunday. Now, for some other people, that could be making them happy, and that's how they want to spend it. That's great. You do that. But if you view it as it's a boring, mundane thing, then yeah, then don't do it. Like, if that's how you view it. So yeah, guys, happy Sunday, and hope that you guys are having a great evening.